Hey guys, welcome to my video. This video is just a quick little recommendation of, some mid-tier items or some mid-tier goals that you guys can work towards. I know a lot of my clanmates, they just run through ED3, they skip a lot of quests, they skip a lot of mini games, and then it just winds up beating them up in the end because they got to go and unlock all this stuff. So here are just a quick few goals that you can work towards kind of in the mid-tier when you're in the low 80s in your favorite combat, maybe low 90s if you're not sure where to go, or you're just looking for something to work towards. This is my recommendation for some random items that'll help you out in PVM and in Slayer. We're checking out the Ancient Elven Ritual Shard. And what this does is it heals your prayer over time, similar to the Enhanced Excalibur that you can see here in my inventory, except it heals your prayer by 37% over 30 seconds with a 5-minute cooldown. So if I click on activate here, you can see down in my prayer bar right over here, this will slowly go up. And this is really nice when you're bossing and you're kind of in between fights, or maybe you can just launch it right at the beginning of your fight, and it'll kind of just keep you topped off in the middle of battle. That way you don't have to worry about sipping potions or anything like that. As you get closer to maxing, you can use this item for Seren prayers. You could use it when you're training anything that really requires prayer to be up. And I think it's overall a convenience item and is really cheap for what it is. This is under 20 mil right now. We can check it out here, and it is 18 almost on the dot. So this is definitely an upgrade that's in every single one of my loadouts and something that's always in my inventory. All right, so next up on the theme of healing, we've got the Heated Tflask. Now the Heated Tflask is something that kind of flies under the radar, but I like carrying this item around because if you know me, I like things that once you buy them, they're just kind of stick with you forever. This item here heals you 375, which doesn't seem like a lot, but you can do that every 2 minutes. So what I like to do is when I'm not using the Enhanced Excalibur, I will actually pop this off. And what's also really useful about it is that in between bosses, like let's say you're waiting for the boss to respawn and maybe you don't want to fill up on a shark or anything like that, you could easily just click on this and it'll top you off closer to your max health. It's even really useful, the lower your health is. So if you're in the early 70s or 80s, in your HP level, this is really going to make a difference by just letting you pop off on a little bit of health while you're at bosses. And since it's unlimited use, you can literally own this thing forever and it'll pay for itself every once in a while, just clicking on it and using it that way. As a side note, one of the really cool things about this is that it will actually take away aggression from aggression potions. So if it's something that you really use and you're maybe traveling to a different area, you want to get rid of that aggression, you can just click right on this and it'll take that right away. Again, if you want to look into this a little bit more, you can check out the links in the description to the wiki. Next up, we've got the Blood Fury. And the reason I recommend this item is because not only does it give you the benefits of a Fury, but it also heals you when you use it against monsters. So this is really useful for Slayer or kind of those lower trash mobs or ED3 if you're struggling with your health or anything like that. This will help give you a little bit of a boost. It recharges for only about 1 mil. And initially this thing off the bat probably costs about 16 mil or so. But in some situations, let's say when you're not ready to jump up to the Amulet of Souls, which I think right now is about 70 mil, you can invest 16 mil into this thing and you can definitely use it at some lower bosses. I would say, Armadillo easily. I've even used it at Grigorovic where you have, maybe your range pray up and you just need a little bit extra healing. So overall, this is really cheap to maintain overall and something that you could use every day. So my next recommended item is actually being worn right here. As you can see, these are the Elite Ranger boots. And what these are is just a regular set of Ranger boots combined with a golden thread, which I think overall will cost you maybe like 12 to 14 mil. And it's a tier 82 power boot. And what I like about this item is that once you consume it and once you actually make it, it's permanent. So that means that no matter how broke you are, how rich you are, where you are in your journey along RuneScape, you will always have a set of tier 82 range boots that you can never sell. I know that sometimes when I'm trying to gear up or maybe spend some money elsewhere, I'll actually, instead of rocking, some Pernix boots or anything like that, you could just switch out to the Ranger boots, and then that way you can free up some money for something else. Like in this case, I've got Cinderbanes as opposed to maybe using fleeting boots. It's just an item that you will always have and always take care of, and it'll always take care of you. Next up, we've got another restoration item, which is the Holy Wrench. And the reason I recommend this item is because it only takes a couple of quests. It's really low, like medium, you know, short kind of quests. And this item specifically was mentioned as a JMod as one of the most overpowered items that exists for PVM. And all it really does is add a little bit more of prayer gain when you take a sip of your potion. It adds anywhere between 10 and 20 prayer points, but just carrying it around and just using your potions with it will actually save you money in the long run. It's also nice that you can wear it too in the pocket slot if it's something that you are willing to do, maybe to save inventory space. Of course, I went with the Illuminated Book of Wisdom, but having it in your inventory over time will definitely save you some money, especially when you get to the higher tier bosses, or maybe just some trash Slayer mobs or anything like that. All right, so for my next recommendation, as you can see, we're here in Draenor. And if you know me, you know that the PVM Hub Telly is one of the best things. So right here to the north of the lodestone, and I'll just pull up the map quickly so that you can see exactly where I am. It's a little south of Draenor Manor, literally at the lodestone. Just up here, you can touch this insignia to go to something called War's Retreat. And War's Retreat is really the PVM Hub, one of the greatest updates, I would say, of last year. Basically, you get an unlimited teleport that will bring you directly to this location if you unlock it with 10 boss kills. What you want to do is talk to this guy named War, and in his shop you can purchase small upgrades that will kind of, make this place a little bit better and more accessible for you. But the initial one that I'm going to recommend is the Hub Teleport. The Hub Teleport is really useful getting yourselves out of an instance maybe where you a little bit over your head, Slayer mobs are kind of all over you, or maybe you launch that aggression potion kind of inconvenient, and you can just pop right out of battle by clicking on it. It'll bring you right to this spot, and as you upgrade along, you can get things like a campfire that'll actually boost your health, just like that. To the right of me, you'll see the Altar of War, and what this does will fully heal your prayer points and your summoning points, and then right off the bat you've got a bank. This is really nice because not only can you use it for PVMing, you could also use it when you're rune crafting. And then finally, down on the lower end of the War's Retreat area, you'll see that you can attune these portals to bosses that you've killed at least once. So I've got Vindicta over here, I've got Grigorovic, and then right up here you can see my Reaper, which is a Twin Furies, and if I were to jump into this portal, it would bring me to the Twin Furies. Overall, PVM Hub Teleport and everything in it is something that I cannot recommend enough for you guys. Definitely check it out. So another quick bonus tip is over here at War in his shop. What you can do is go over to the unlocks, and one of the auras that are for sale here for 5,000 marks of War is the Vampirism aura. Now this is really nice because it heals you by 5% of the damage you deal. So sometimes, when you're doing some tougher Slayer tasks, maybe TDs, or if you're going into one of those lower bosses like Armadillo, of course, you can use this to sort of AFK a little bit. Really, really, really useful, and I cannot recommend this as one of the first auras that you should get if you're having trouble with your health. Again, just a convenience item. It doesn't cost much to get. It's free and you'll always have it. Just a quick little goal that you should work towards. This is a mini game that's located east of the Shanty Pass, right where you see this marked. It's just over the bridge. And there's a few things in here that everyone should really be working towards. So if you don't know what the Dominion Tower is, it's just a place where you can fight quest bosses that you've seen in the past, and you can get some rewards from the strange face over here. And if I just jump into the rewards panel very quickly, you'll see 2 or 3 things that I would highly recommend for you guys to get. The first one that I'm going to recommend is a Dominion Mines. And I'm just going to have a quick little video here that shows you kind of how they work and kind of show you how it is in effect. But what this does is it hits any monster that's under 138 combat with up to 10,000 as a hit. And I use this on certain Slayer tasks, such as Nightmares. It kind of speeds things up. And it's kind of useful at Grigorovic as well, because he does change his combat style. His combat level sometimes. And if he's under 138, you can use one of these and it'll hit up to 10k on him. The next thing that I'm really going to recommend from this mini game section here are the gloves that you can win from this event, this little mini game or whatnot. Basically, you've got Spellcaster gloves, you've got Swift gloves, you've got Goliath gloves. They each offer their own benefit, but the reason that I'm going to recommend this is that they're all level 80 gloves that are pretty decent. And not only does it give you a glove at that level, but it is free. So if you're worried about, hey, I don't have Cinderbanes, I can't afford Nightmares, I can't do this, I can't do that, I don't have the best gear, head on over to this minigame, earn yourself some Dominion Mines, earn yourself some Swift gloves, and then no matter how broke again you are, say you can't afford Cinderbane gloves, you can definitely rock the Swift gloves and it'll help you out. There will be some links in the description where you can check out these items and you can kind of read a little bit about them some more. But I cannot recommend these enough for people that hate questing, don't want to go for the the hybrid gloves from the chest over in Lumbridge. This is definitely a suitable tier 80, use it anywhere kind of glove when you have all three. Something nice to have, something you'll always get. Perfect. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed my video. It was a little bit long, but if you liked it, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. I'm planning on doing some more videos, maybe for that mid-tier or early high levels where, you're just starting to get into PVM, you're just starting to get into Slayer, and I was hoping, maybe I can help somebody out. I know that a lot of my clan members have trouble sort of figuring out what their next goals are, and if you've got anything that maybe I've missed or got a video suggestion, just drop it in the comments and let me know. Alright, so I'll see you guys next time. Peace.